Why is it that even after years of performance and hard work, the organizations, especially the small and medium ones, are always in the hand-to-mouth situation? And while working with many of these business managers and entrepreneurs, this question has been asked to me. Does your business face same situation? You're always looking for funds to further scale up your enterprise. Well, if you feel this way, you are not alone. Let us explore this situation in the video ahead. Hi, my name is Vineet Dixit, and for years I have been working as a business consultant with many enterprises, big and small. I work with these companies as their growth catalysts. In these videos, I share my years of learnings while working with various corporates as an employee at various levels, and also working with various companies, big or small, as business consultant. So if you are interested in such subjects of business management, marketing and strategy, do subscribe to my channel. Now let us move ahead and explore this situation of why is it that these business managers, entrepreneurs or their businesses are in hand-to-mouth situation. Why is it that they never have enough to further scale up through their own internal resources? And why is it that they always feel there is a need of getting external finances for their business sustenance and business scale up? Well, let us look at it from a different angle altogether. What is the first and continuing responsibility of a business manager or a leader or an entrepreneur? His or her responsibility is to continually strive for best economic results through whatever resources are at hand or available, and whatever else the manager might be expected to do, deliver, or whatever he himself wants to do or deliver, rest on the economic performance and the profitable results over a period of time, say for next few years. So most of the business managers and entrepreneurs spend their time and effort on short-term economic results. They look at it from today's point of view, tomorrow's point of view, or maybe day after tomorrow's point of view, but largely it's a short-term economic result that they are looking at, and for sure looking at their own money and power and position. This is the precise reason why most of the time we look at managers or entrepreneurs working on the pricing, the cost, the economic side of it. Even during the boom time, which is the seller's boom, these business heads or entrepreneurs seem to be working only on the economic performance through margins, through cost, through customer services, which often leads to a lot of pressure, confusion, irritation. I am not saying these endeavors or efforts are in the wrong direction. While their efforts and endeavors are in the right direction, the proportion of their focus and time needs to be taken care of. In the following video, let us explore how, and I will try to dissect this situation threadbare for you to understand it clearly. Before we move forward, please like and subscribe to my channel. These businesses and business managers have developed various tools to help them and support them in running day-to-day businesses. These are competitive and quality tools. But here I am not going to talk about tools. I am going to talk about three simple and fundamental questions that each entrepreneur or business head needs to ask from himself or herself. And when I say himself or herself, it is about his team, her team. The constant endeavor has to be very clear about these three fundamental questions. These questions are: first, what is my job as an entrepreneur, business head or as a manager? Second, what is the major problem in it? Third, what is the principle for defining this problem and analyzing for it? Here I do not intend to give any full-blown lecture on science of management or economics. I am going to talk about only these three fundamental issues. So let us explore them one by one. Before I move forward, I am sure you would have viewed and reviewed my videos on managing or creating sales strategy and marketing and initiatives which are coming in year 2024. Do view those videos. Link is mentioned in the description. Now back to basic three fundamental questions that I have recently raised. The first one: what is my job as a manager, entrepreneur or a business head? It is to manage and divert the resources, the efforts of the businesses towards building economically significant results, right? And I agree. This is absolutely right. This is what we should be doing and this is what we are expected to do. However, bulk of my discussion and analysis of this situation points to just one direction, that most of your work, time, resources and energy are diverted towards the problems and not the forthcoming opportunities. As managers or leaders, we are continually working towards the problems at hand without spending much of time or resource or effort towards the future, the opportunities. In this endeavor, most of the time we invest ourselves and best of our performers into the problem areas where we have minimal effect on the results, and this frustrates us, irritates us, and the results generated are not too great. The second fundamental question: what is the major problem? And it is the fundamental question of doing things right rather than doing the things which are right. It is fundamentally the confusion between efficiency and effectiveness. Many a times I have observed managers in their anxiety of being efficient tend to do a lot of such things which are not required to be done at all. Yet most of our business systems and tools that we have created within our organization or teams are focused towards efficiency rather than getting you to know whether they are right things to do or not, especially in the accounts and data science. In one of the discussions that I was having with a manager, I observed that marketing manager of that team used to do weekly review meetings with his team. Every Wednesday in a week, he used to sit with 10-12 of his assistant managers and other team members, used to spend about 30 to 45 minutes working on the business reviews and further business plans. And he was very happy about his review meetings. Since he was very efficient, he used to spend just 30-35 minutes or maximum 45 minutes. But do you think 12 people can be reviewed on their performance and future business plans within 30-35 minutes? 10 people, 45 minutes means on an average he is spending about 4 minutes. Though he is efficient, efficient but not at all effective. Talking to his subordinates, I clearly knew that subordinates did not have much of an idea as to what was discussed and what were the tasks assigned to them by the boss. While efficiency was great, effectiveness was lacking. So here we need to identify areas where we need to be more effective and methods of concentrating on those areas. This brings us to our third question. What is the principle for defining this problem and analyzing it? Well, that too is very well known, at least as a general proposition. Business enterprise is not a phenomenon of nature. It is a social phenomenon. In social situations, however, events are not distributed as a normal distribution curve. Rather, having normal or uniform distribution, it is just 10 to 20% of events which produce 80 to 90% of our results. And vice versa is also true. 80 to 90% of our events will produce just 10 to 20% of results. And this is absolutely true in the marketplace. Bulk of our revenues are generated by small number of customers. About 10 to 20% of our customers will help us generate 80 to 90% of our revenues. Out of all the products that we have for the market, a small handful of products generate major portion of our business volume. Only a few salesmen out of the entire team majorly contribute to our top line. This is true for the R&D function as well. Handful of people will generate bulk of the innovations. A small group of employees with your company will have most of the problems with your company. Similarly, bulk of absenteeism will be from a handful of people. In a nutshell, while answering to these three fundamental questions, few things are very clear. As a manager, you're focusing more on problems, less on opportunities. While in a business situation, it has to be other way around. While you should be focusing on problems and taking care of them, but bulk of your resources, your time, your effort has to go toward opportunities which lie ahead. Similarly, your resource allocation, bulk of your company's resource allocation is spent on 90% of effort or events which result to just 20% or 10% of the results. And rather than identifying the effective ways of doing things, we focus more toward efficiency. While efficiency is a good word and definitely results to higher return on investment, but it is of critical importance that efficiency should be part of effectiveness. The things that are right, the things that need to be done, those need to be done efficiently. And effectiveness means activities and events which give you bulk of your result. I remember working as a business consultant with a large engineering company. They had a large team of engineers. They were all good people, but the analysis of their allocation clearly showed while they are working very hard, they are producing very less results. Most of them work for very interesting problems and mainly for small customers of theirs. These problems with small customers, even if solved, do not produce much of results for the company itself. On the other hand, they had couple of automobile companies as their customers. They contributed to about 75 to 80% of their results. These are two large automobile companies, but hardly any engineer from this engineering company for which I was working as business consultant had any time visited the engineering department of these automobile companies. None of the engineers had visited them, and these automobile companies contributed about 80% of their revenue. I asked these engineers as to why nobody has visited these automobile companies. Their answer was that these automobile companies, which are their clients and bulk contributors to their results, they do not need us. They do not need our expertise. They have their own set of good quality engineers, and we are not required there. Same thing I have observed with various other companies where best of their sales people have been allocated to hardest of their problems, and this results in these best sales people getting demotivated. These problems could be around products which are hard to sell, or the products which are of past, not good enough in today's market, or no future prospects ahead. So in a nutshell, coming back to our original problem that we discussed during the initial part of this video, why companies operate under hand-to-mouth situation despite being operational for years, and because of this hand-to-mouth situation, they are unable to innovate or scale themselves up. As we have discussed, the problem lies in these three fundamental questions that you need to be answering all the time and need to be very conscious about while moving ahead. As a business head, entrepreneur, or as a business manager, you need to be working on future opportunities, and small proportion of your time should be towards the problems of now. After all, allocating 90% of your resources to 90% of events which just produces 10% of your result is no good. So what I have sketched out in this particular video is the manager's real work. As such, he attacks the real problem with effective solutions, with a plan of action, with methods of analysis, and with understanding of tools he needs. What are your views about it? Please do mention in the comment, and do not forget to subscribe to my video. Keep learning, keep growing.